I'm just waiting for my introduction. What's he gonna call me?
Super cool guy Steven is what I'm going to call you, probably.
Well, that's nice. Are we taking a different approach this time and being nice to each other?
Apparently.
I don't know if I consent to that.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another special episode of the Blame the Double Turn podcast. Today, we're going to chat all things Grand Clash and our time out in Quebec. But first, let me introduce some very special boys. Today, we're going to start with Kyle.
Hi, I'm a special boy. I'm here for the podcast.
And our most special boy, Steven.
Well, I'm the specialist boy. Hello.
The boy with the turn signal, Matt Jackson.
Bonsoir.
And then we have Connor with us today, too.
This intro is creeping
For
me
moral
out.
and emotional support.
Exactly. I did not participate in Clash because I suck.
You're always there in spirit with us.
Yeah, I felt you yelling at me.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
I also felt it. But yeah, we're all back from Grand Clash. That happened this past weekend. Our previous pod, we were talking about prepping for that and how excited we were for it. I don't know about you guys. I had a great time out there in, I think it's Trois Rivières. I always don't pronounce the R, or I do pronounce the R, or something like that. But yeah, super good time. It was what, 6 of us out there at the Airbnb this time?
6, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 6 of us.
Yeah. And then we had another local, Alex, join us, but he kind of went and did his own thing, but it was great to have him there too. We were in a new spot this time. Last time we were kind of in a haunted barn. This time we were in like a really bougie brick walled apartment, which was super cool.
Last time it was a farmhouse. Okay, it was a rustic farmhouse. It was
Yeah.
nice.
Haunted
It's
barn.
so sick. With the clown.
Yeah.
And the dock.
Oh my god, yeah, the dog.
Yeah, I like that dog.
The Airbnb was really nice. The area was a little bit sketchy though. Who knew?
Yeah. They kept to themselves though. They seem pretty peaceful.
They did,
I'm not
yeah.
mad about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, great time. We can just kind of jump straight into the tournament and talk about our experiences, our opponents, and just kind of how everything went. Kyle, do you feel comfortable while you're driving taking us through it?
Yeah. So great time. The venue is always great. The organizers, like, they keep it on in top shape. So it's always a great tournament. It's worth going to. This is my 3rd year going, and I'll go again next year. Quick rundown. Last podcast you heard I played Baleful Lords. So I took Baleful Lords, and I went 3-2. So pretty happy with that. I thought 3-2 was a reasonable goal. 4-1 was kind of a dream. Baleful doesn't go 5. So, I didn't really expect to. My first 2 matches were both into Hellsmiths, which is a good matchup for Baleful. Great opponents. It was against Antoine the first round and Loic the second round, but Baleful really can punish Hellsmiths, especially if you get a double turn. I think I got a double turn against Loic. I didn't get one against Antoine. So playing Loic, he's a great player. Everybody knows he's a great player. So I was very cautious and meticulous, and luckily was able to make some good charges and just clear some things that I needed to. I got a little placard saying that I defeated the War Master Loic, and I guess there was bounties on a bunch of people. So that was pretty cool. My first devastating loss came from Lionel, X-Planet Lionel. This is the first time I played against Lionel, and it was an absolute blast, despite the match being an atrocious blowout. So he was playing Iron Jaws, the Brawl sub-faction, but I swear his list was designed to just beat up on Baleful. It had Kragnos, a Maw Crusher, 3 big pigs, and 2 units of Ragers. So everything did something bad to me. Kragnos on his first charge did 25 damage. Kragnos on his second charge did 30 damage. The Maw Crusher did impact damage and then could fly over you and do more damage. So he also was faster than me with a 3d6 charge. So it was really hard in that regard, because even when I did try and move forward with a redeployer and Mighty Destroyers, I was looking at like 10-inch charges, and you can't bank your life on 10-inch charges. So I activated one fight ability in the entire game with 5 Bloodthirsters, one fight ability. It was horrific. Honestly, though, playing against Lionel was fantastic. That was day one. So great day one. Ended on a devastating loss. Then we went out and got Saint Hubert's, and it was delicious. Day two was I got to play a local Simeon. Always great playing Simeon. He was also bringing Blades of Corn, but on infantry heavy list, and it was a bad matchup for him. So Baleful just I could outspeed him, I could outdamage him, and his one really scary unit was 10 Skull Reapers, and I was able to control the tempo, get Scarbrand into them. Scarbrand should kill like 6 of them, and he all of them. So at that, because there were only units on the board, even when a Bloodthirster died, I was able to bring it back quite easily, and that was another strong win. So all my wins were scored really well, like 72, 77, and 76. Against Lionel, I scored 12 points. And then in my last round, I scored 44 against Xavier. So my last round, pairings go up, and I see him against Ogres. And I'm like, great, honest combat army. This is going to be a great matchup for me. Excited about it. It was on Life Roots, which is, I've literally never played Life Roots. That was the first time I've played Life Roots. So I go into it thinking this is a great matchup for me. And then we deploy. And I immediately realized this is a terrible matchup for me. He had 4 Scourge Scrap Launchers and a Scourge Iron Blaster, a unit of 12 Gluttons, and a unit of 8 Gluttons. So originally, I'm like, whatever, his shooting's not going to do anything, and I just need to commit to the Gluttons and Iron Guts. Well, the Scrap Launchers actually can do a fair amount of damage, because they're 18-inch range, 12 shots each, crit 2 hits, 4s and 2s, rend 1, damage 1. But they also, on a 3-up, reduce your charge roll by a dice. And I think they reduce your save as well, maybe? Anyways, so he deployed, gave me first turn. I actually just moved back because I know how surprisingly fast ogres can be. And then next turn, so he moves forward, I move forward, I make a few charges. I foolishly got caught by the pendulum. I like roughly measured it and kind of eyeballed it, but didn't put down an 8 and a 3 to make sure I was out of combat range. So he actually tied up the Boom Thirster before I could charge with it, which was going into his Gluttons. So I ended up only getting Scarbrand into his 12 of Gluttons instead of both, but you need both to lift them all. Scarbrand ended up killing 8 of them, I think. So there's 4 left. So he did work, but then the shooting and everything, it was just an attrition game at that point. So I slowly just lost out. He was able to spread out, get the life root points. I had 2 chances to bring back Bloodthirsters because there's so few units in that game, and both time I was 1 dice away from bringing it back. So I finished the tournament 3-2. Realized destruction is a hard counter for Baleful. Who knew? I had a great time. Also, all of my games were like 45 minutes long. My game with Lionel was the longest, and I think it was an hour and a half. So I had a lot of spare time, which was great because I got to wander around and see people's games and see what's up.
Yeah. You were like at my table, I swear, at like 45 minutes into every round. And I'm like, what the hell happened? I just assumed you like demolished whoever you went into. But yeah, there was a couple times I'm like, how long have I been playing this game? What's happening?
Baleful is either like win big or lose big. There was no in between, at least for me this weekend.
Yeah.
I think my highlight, if I want to call it a highlight, as bad as the game was for me, playing against Lionel was just so much fun. We were right by stream, and I promise you that the stream heard nothing but us screaming at each other. And my other highlight was playing Loic again. I've played him once before. He's just such a good player and a great opponent. He makes you think, is super clean. It was just really, really enjoyable.
Nice. Yeah, you did great. Where did you end up finishing? Let's take a look real quick.
39th,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, 39. Yeah, that's good. I think we alluded to it in the last pod, but we did end up putting a wager on this tournament where we did another
Yeah.
car v car.
We'll reveal those findings at the end.
Absolutely. But car one,
Yeah.
it was Kyle, Matt Jackson, and then Matt G. Car two was Steven, Vince, and I. And yeah, there was a few moments where I'm like, I don't know if we're gonna take it, or I think we're in a good spot. But it was really good, and I think we have a rough idea of what the stakes are, and we can talk about that at the end too. But we can kind of alternate cars here. Steven, are you good to talk about your experience and your matchups?
Yep, sure. So I got my cities list, went through it as well. My first game was against Sons of Raymond. It ended up just being like he took first, and then kind of just had a giant on the one side. So I kind of just focused that side. I deployed Callus of Toll turn one, which I rarely do, and then just killed him. After he died, I was just kind of able to like push the rest after. So it was pretty one-sided after that. I think I finished that game pretty quick too. Not as fast as Kyle though. But
So quick.
I literally was done first every round.
no, not against Lionel. I beat you there,
Okay.
right? I think so. Yeah. Because I saw your
I think
game
so.
still going, and then you're like, "I'm dead." I was like, "Huh." And then my next game was against Justin, who actually won the tournament. He was using Sylvaneth. That was actually like a really good game. I think one mistake I ended up doing is I tried to like alpha strike by Cavaliers into his like anti-charge size. I ended up not getting punished for it because I think I lost like one Cavalier and killed one scythe back. And then I was able to power through back into position. And then it was going like decent until the double turn was coming up. And I'm like, I rolled a 4. I was like, all right, I should be good. And then Kyle came over. He's just like, oh, that's a 50-50. I'm like, what do you mean it's a 50? It's a 5. And then he rolled a 5 up. So he took the double, was able to kill a lot. And I kind of was like able to come back a bit with Kyle's toll coming down, killing Drycha almost, and then charging the fly boys. But it was just on the back foot after the double turn. So end up losing.
So sorry, would you say that you're blaming the double turn?
Oh, I am blaming the double. That's true. No, actually, I'm not blaming. I'm blaming Kyle. 100%. I would not have gone double if you did not say that. 100%.
You're right.
Then my third game was what was it on? Oh, that was against Franco. His IDK, which I end up also charged by Cavaliers in turn one. I shoved the cannon into the turtle and then charged the Cavaliers into the turtle. I think the cannons did like 3 damage, which I was expecting a lot more. And then the Cavaliers were able to roll hot and just killed it by a miracle. With the mortals as well. Because when they charge, they do mortals on a 4-up. But I think that kind of just really helped the game after that. Was able to just get all the objectives, go around the map, finish everything off. Then we had our chill day at St. Hubert's. And my fourth game, this game, he had an all hero list, and I did not shoot my cannons once because he literally deployed in the corner for like 3 turns. After talking to like what if Franny will go through one of his games, so I was like, bro, this is the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It was like first Gore chosen, but yeah, he just stayed like back, so I was able to get a lot of objectives. That was probably like I think that was my lowest scoring game for like a win, just because I couldn't like really do much. I couldn't kill a hero until the end because he was just staying in the very back or in cover. So, but overall, good game. And then the last game against Oscar, who was using the Feck list, which I was much more scared of this time. I swear, I think the Cavaliers just like unkillable, but they do die. very easily. A lot of stuff. So I deployed pretty far back. He gave me first, so I repositioned the Cavaliers into like the back right, and then moved the cannons up 27 inches away because that's the range of their guns with the formation I take. I shot the one hero, the main dude, whichever one costs like 490 or whatever he is, or 420. What's it cost? 420. Yeah, that guy. I did like 11 damage, and then he ended up moving two of the Terrorgeists up. One teleported, I guess. The other ones moved up as well, but he rolled low for the runs, so he wasn't able to make the charges into the Cavaliers because I think they're like 27, 28 back. But if he got like a decent run and charge, it would have been pretty brutal there. He also didn't get the double. I would have insta died to the double because he was just like in my face after turn 2. Say after that, I lost. I think I only lost my main, my ogre, which is a very important model for the army. But with Talia able to get +1 to wound for the one turn, I was able to do enough damage to kill 3 Gargeist and then pretty much pull ahead after that.
Nice.
Nice. So your record was
4-1, and I got 5th place, best order. Boom, boom.
Hell yeah.
proud of
And then
you.
we'll see what the news are going to be. Hopefully they're just as tanky or better.
Yeah, this is your last tournament with cities as they are, right? They should be coming out
Yeah,
really soon.
They'll come out. So I'm not going to play another tournament with them just because I'm just going to wait for the rumor of the rules or yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. I thought we would have seen at least rumors or leaks or anything, literally anything AOS this week, but there hasn't even been a single AOS article. I wonder if we're just going to have to
All
wait for
40K.
11th. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're going to have to wait for 11th to drop and like the dust to settle before we start getting goodies again.
I did buy the new Astro set. So it has like the spearhead rules, but like the Grenadiers seem super crazy, but yeah, I don't know their points or anything, and their rules could be totally different on that. Who knows?
For sure.
But they seem very sweet.
Nice. Cool. Matt, I don't know, are you in a spot where you want to chat or do you want me to go next?
I can chat. You just get to hear me park into my Arcan list. And my opponents were Soul Blight, Sons of Bahamut, Slaves of Darkness. On the first day, second day was KO and Beck. And long-time listeners of the podcast will remember that I didn't mention any of those 5 armies for the ones I wanted to play against or was dreading the most. So that was a nice, fun coincidence. My first day, I lost against the Soul Blight. I eked out a win against Bahamut. And then my third game is the most notable of the 3. It was the one against Slaves of Darkness, and it was a list near and dear to my heart. My opponent, Sam, he ran Archaon, Reinforced Chosen with Dread Banner, Unit of Knights, Chaos Lord on Demonic Mount. I was like, oh, this guy, I love him. He's a scholar. This is a list of champions. And this is what I used to run. I had relatively good success with it. Yes. And I thought, oh, what's that? Nope. All right. I thought I was getting cut off. All right. So, yeah, I had a plan going in. Plan worked perfectly. Went to turn 2. I got the priority. So the sequence of it, I went, correction. He went, I went. No. Whatever. Anyway, long story short, I got the priority on turn 2. And ultimately, I gave him the double turn going into battle round 2. Because I did some measurements and did some math. I'm like, well, all right, this is easy peasy. Archaon's going to make it in because he moves more billion inches every turn. But the Chosen need 14, and the Knights need 11, even after they move. There's no way he's going to get all 3 into combat. So, spoilers. You got the 3d6 charge spell off on the Chosen, and the Knights rolled like I think a 12 on the charge, and Archaon was a guarantee to get in because after he moved, he only needed a 7. I was like, oh, that's the way she goes. But it was all downhill after that. Still a great game, but Archaon managed to take out the entire unit of Triaxis in one swell foop, which I was jealous because mine was always infamous for never killing anything. But it went pretty well in his favor. So I went 1-2 that first day. Second day, I had KO first. I won that, but we went to time. We talked out turn 5, and I don't think I've ever had a game where I've measured more things, or my opponent and I have made precise our intentions like verbally every time. It was a very logic intense game, which for me is unusual. So then by the end of that, I felt like my brains were coming out of my ears, and I was set up well going into game 5 because, like Kyle, I played Life Roots once before, and that was at another tournament where I actually thought Life Roots was a typo on the player pack. I'm like, there's no map called the Life Roots. That's obviously a mistake. No, it's a real terrible battle plan. So went into that, and yeah, we lost that against Flesh Eaters. It was just immovable force, unstoppable logic type stuff, but the OBR list isn't really an unstoppable force. The most noteworthy part of that, though, I want to bring up real quick, is my opponent Jeff. When Arcan charged Usharan, and we both knew this could be like the deciding factor of the game, Jeff took pains to remind me that if Usharan rolled higher than the control score for Arcan, which is 5, then Usharan would fight first and almost definitely kill Arcan. They explained this at length, which took a while. They really dragged it out, and then they explained to me again how Usharan's rules were, like the stats. And then they took probably 90 seconds to find the perfect dice to make the roll. And then they said, you know what? Hold on, I'm just going to use the washroom real quick. They really dragged it out. They really made me feel the tension, which I really appreciated. I was like, Jeff, you're a monster, and I love it. And then they rolled, and it was a 3. I'm like, oh, thank God. So Arcan fought first. Anyway, Life Roots, lost that one too. But no regrets. All 5 of my games were great. And I went 2-3, maintaining my Clash tradition. And I finished at a strong 85th, I think. That's when I last looked at it. But yeah, so that was me.
I also I want to call out that the last Jeff's army, phenomenal. The way it looked and was painted.
Yes, excellent. Thank you, Cal. Yeah, here, I'm going to grab the momentum back from you. Excellent point. I'd be criminal if I didn't point this out. Good point. That I saw on the schedule, my opponent was Flesh Eaters, and it was at table 38, whatever. And I walked by, and I was just looking at the armies, not the numbers. And then I had to come back again. I'm like, well, this is table 38. This isn't a Flesh Eater army. And it was Kit Bashed, Cities, Bretonia, Cathay, Old World, done very stylized, and everything looked like it was peak nobility and very like it looked like the good guys. And it took me a moment, and I remembered, oh yeah, Flesh Eaters, that's their gimmick in the lore. And I said that to Jeff, and Jeff said, oh, if you saw anything, if you saw anything other than the most noble of knights, perhaps you are a bit delusional. Oh yeah, like nailed it. It was good.
That's so good.
Jeff also had a dice jail. Jeff was just a delight all around. The dice jail was full of both of our dice at the end. It was great.
That's awesome. That's really
I do have a picture of the dragon from his army, which looks super sick. If you're able to pull it up, Franny.
Yeah. Is that what that ping just was? Yeah, it was. Okay, hold up. I got
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that's so cool.
It was so sick.
Wow. I had seen this kind of as I was walking around the venue throughout the weekend, and I had no idea what the army was. I just knew it looked incredible.
Yeah.
That's the Cathay
It was
dragon,
definitely
right?
like- Yeah. And it's supposed to be Utheron?
Yeah, that's Usharan.
Yeah, Utheron.
So
And
good.
he had Morbeg Knights that were the Pegasus,
Ah, so
like
sick.
the
the
Pegasus,
Bretonia
Bretonian
ones?
Pegasus. Yeah,
That's so
God, this sounds
as
unreal.
Morbeg Knights,
I wish
it's
I saw
perfect.
this.
Like perfect.
yeah.
It was
Yeah, the whole
sick
army looked
army.
phenomenal, and it was also obvious what everything was supposed to be once you realized it was Feck, which was also
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
I'm kind of infamous for practicing, not at tournaments, but I'm infamous for like, oh, this empty base with the masking tape on it. That's Arcan. So I triply appreciated Jeff's efforts.
Yeah, that looks so good. Yeah, cool. That's oops. That sounds like a good time. You went 2-3. Speaking of 2-3, I also went 2-3. And I know, Matt, you have like a Grand Clash curse. I just have a GT curse. I've not finished better than 2-3 at any GT, and yeah, that's continuing. But yeah, I played Night Haunt, went through our list last time, very similar list to what I always kind of run, but went through and played with 5 beauty opponents this weekend. It was a blast. Round 1, I played Zachary. He was playing Feck. I either have a terrible time with Feck or a really, really terrible time with Feck. And this was that list where it was absolutely awful, because if I see Felgrin there, it's a real uphill battle. For anybody not aware, Felgrin basically picks anything within 18 and says, hey, you don't have a ward anymore. And Night Haunt's whole thing is, hey, we all have 5-up wards. So the beginning of the game, I just played super cagey, trying to stay 18 away from this guy. But there's only so long I can stay away before 18 inches becomes impossible to stay away from. But yeah, the game was actually closer than I thought it was going to be. We stayed pretty tight up until the last turn, where Zach pulled out a 10-point lead over me just at the end. But he's such a great guy. Really nice. He is actually the owner of Boutique Bastion. And I thought that was super cool. The whole time I'm like, hey, I bought, these Pyregeist from your site or this or that. And he was just as stoked to hear that. So that was really fun. But yeah, Feck, awful time. Great opponent. So I still had a blast. Round 2, I played Mathieu Gaudet and his Soulblight. I don't remember a ton about this game. I'm trying to remember if there's any really big standout moments that did or didn't swing the game. Actually, I do remember going into round 3. We were in a really weird spot in terms of board control and units left on the table, and I ended up giving him the turn when in reality I definitely should have taken the double and just scored my max points that I could have. Night Haunt is kind of a fun army in the fact that we kind of embrace those weird board states, because even if I'm in a bit of a pickle, I usually have the mobility to kind of get myself out and score all the points I need. But in that moment, I was like, no, I'll give it to him. And that is really what ended up swinging the game, amongst other things. I'm by no means playing at 100% every other moment of the game. But yeah, it was super fun. Forge Rise, awesome. Vengo Lord did a lot of work. I was able to kill Radikar really early on, so that felt like a bit of a win for me. But yeah, great game, great guy. So at that point, I was 2-0, not feeling super great. But round 3 was maybe one of my favorite games of AOS that I've ever played. I think I told the guys I was super down on Night Haunt. I'm like, oh, this is brutal. I'm putting them on the shelf. And then I got to play into Gore Chosen for the very first time. My opponent's name was Paul Antoine. Amazing guy. We vibed the whole time, had a blast, which is great because I actually feel quite terrible. It must have been a miserable game for him to play into. Gore Chosen's just a ton of pretty slow heroes against a ton of really fast mobile ghosts. Going into that game, I knew anything the Gore Chosen touch are just, gonna evaporate and die. So I realized I can't die if there's no combat. So round 1, 2, 3, I just stayed out of his combat range. I literally played my own game, scored points. I completed all of my tactics by the end of round 4. By the end of round 3, I was done 5 of my tactics, and we hadn't gone into combat once yet. So that was good. Round 4, we had our very first combat, but yeah, it was just into Blade Geist. They kind of didn't evaporate as quick as I thought. But yeah, it felt really good to kind of showcase everything that Night Haunt has in terms of their mobility and their their teleporting and just their general slipperiness. So yeah, that was really cool. Steven came over at one point and was looking at the board state, and I don't know if you thought either the game was way too early or like, yeah.
I walked over and I was just like, Franny's gonna lose this game, like, because it just like looked like you like lost a few stuff, and you're like, oh, I got like 75 points. I'm like, what? What? What?
Yeah, yeah, it was good. I ended up pulling it ahead with it was like 75. What was it? It was 75-46. Yeah, I was just able to avoid literally all the combats. And the combats that did happen, I just kind of threw units out there to slow him down even further. So yeah, that kind of reinvigorated me with Night Haunt. I ended the day, even though I was 2-1, I felt really good about it just because that was such a fun game, at least for me. I'm sure Paul didn't have a super great time rolling dice, but I don't know, between the banter and just kind of talking to each other, it was still a really good time. Then yeah, we went to our famous Saint Hubert. We watched F1 into the evening, which I realize now I got just the right amount of baked where like I didn't really follow what was happening on the TV. So that was cool. We watched qualifying. The next day I was like, I don't even know who qualified first. I was just rambling the whole time, just like I am now. Yeah. Day 2, match 1. I think we were able to see pairings into the evening of night 1, right?
Yeah, like 10 o'clock they put the pairings up, or like 10:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're talking about Matt's like what you should do against KO. I was
Yes.
just like, yeah, just
Yeah.
avoid the train and don't tell your opponent any of the rules.
That was his
I don't-
suggestion.
I told him once. That was fair. And then he did follow it the entire game, so he learned from it.
But yeah, so I don't think this happened last year, but being able to see the pairings the night before, great and terrible at the same time, because like some people, were stoked about their pairings. I was paired into Nurgle, and I had played into new Nurgle a couple times, and each time it was like a slog. So I was not super stoked. So throughout the night, I was coming up with a game plan, like what can I do this, what can I do that? And I decided, hey, I'm going to do the exact same thing I just did with Gore Chosen, and that's limit the combats and try to split them up and slow them down. And that's exactly what I did. So beginning of day 2, I played into Marc-Andre. He had like a 5-drop Nurgle list, but he was running Rodigus, which I had never played into before. Rodigus and Blob, which his army looked incredible. But yeah, when it came down to execute the game plan, I did exactly that. I pushed all my guys into the middle, baited him to come down the middle, and then the way the plan was laid out was we had 2 really big terrain pieces, creating some like left, middle, right lanes. So because Nurgle's pretty slow, he got trapped kind of in that middle lane with basically all of his units. So once he did that, I knew, okay, I need to split my army in 2. Half of you goes left, half of you goes right. And then wherever Rodigus does not go, because he has the aura of no healing and no recursion, wherever he doesn't go, that's where I'm teleporting all of my important stuff. So I went, or he went right. That meant I bogged him down and I put everything else left, which worked out really, really well. I had Bladegeist bogging down basically Rodigus and all of his rot swords and just generally trying to slow him down. But I felt really, really good about the positioning at that point. And yeah, I ended up winning that game. It ended up being way closer than it should have been. Mark was a great player, but just because of that board state, the positioning, I felt pretty in control. But in saying that, I only won 55-53 because I ended up dropping 5 points at the very end because we were just talking things out at that point, and I realized I didn't put any units within 3 for scouting. And at that point, I looked down at the scoring, and I was like, oh shit, did I just lose the game for myself? But I did end up taking it still. But another game where Night Haunt felt really good. And that was actually my first time winning into New Nurgle. So I was happy about that too. Final round was into Simon Glanowski. I've seen him on ITC. He plays Seraphon. I think he always has, or he has been playing Seraphon for quite a while. I think, Connor, you played him at last Clash. But yeah, we were playing Life Cycle.
Sorry, yes. My bad. Yes, I did play Simon at last clash. He's part of the Penguins, the group
Yes.
from Quebec, and he is a very, very good player. But as far as I know, he's always played Seraphon. That's his like go-to army.
Yeah. Yeah, super nice guy. So while a lot of people hadn't played Life Roots, Steven and I had scrimmed on Life Roots, and I thought
Oh yeah,
I felt good about
You're
it.
welcome.
Yeah, thanks. We got
it was
fucked.
helpful until we read the rules.
Yeah. Round one.
I thought resets.
Yeah, we thought the life root points reset.
My God.
Yeah, not the case. Not the case at all. They carry over round on round. And he had told me, and I'm like, shit. And then in my head, I'm like, I don't think that's the way that works because I had never played it. So I found Sabetti, and I'm like, Sabetti, do the points reset or do they carry over every round? And I was expecting him to be on my side and say, yes, they reset. He's like, nah, man, they carry over. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Round one, I scored like 4 life root points and Simon scored like 8. And I'm like, that's an uphill battle.
I had 2 on mine because I was at the back corner.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, it's fine. Next turn, I'll be able to spread out and I'll take it next turn. Nope.
Fun.
But yeah, Simon is a really, really good player. He was playing a pretty aggressive Seraphon list. He was running a Slann, reinforced Lancers, reinforced Warspawn, Carno, and a couple units of Chargers. So I knew he was going to be super, super aggressive. The interesting thing about Life Roots that we haven't talked about yet is like you end up playing the game where you like normally play it like widthwise. This way you kind of play it lengthwise. So the sides are the long part and it's very narrow.
Hamburger deployment.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're playing hot dog instead of hamburger. And that works out really well with his list because he's super fast. And once he pinned me in, which, shocker, he pinned me in round one, there wasn't really anywhere I could go. So all of his hammers pinned me in. And then his hunters of Huanchi, he didn't even deploy them in deep strike. Between them and his guard and his Slann, he only used them to screen out 9 inches everywhere. So he pinned me in, stopped all my mobility, and basically stopped all of my teleporting. So I knew pretty early that it was going to be a real bad time. And it was. I just kind of got eaten alive. I couldn't escape. But it was actually pretty cool to see because I love Seraphon and I haven't played them in a while. So it was good to see how he played them. And spoiler alert, I think I'm going to take a variation of his list to the next tournament that I go to. But yeah, Nighthaunt wins really close. But if Nighthaunt loses, it can be a real blowout. And that's what this was. I think I only scored 10 points that whole game. It was 67-10 because I just couldn't go anywhere. And once he took my point, it was really game over. So we ended up talking out like the last 2 turns, even though we had a bunch of time. It was easier to just talk it out. But yeah, Simon's a really great guy, and I still had a really great game into him, and it was really fun to see how he played Seraphon. So all said and done, I went 2 and 3. And where did I finish? I'm typing in Franny, like that's what I signed my name up as. I finished 79th. Yeah. 3 and 2, 2 and 3.
That is your name.
I know.
That's your name, yeah.
I ended up typing that in and I'm like, wait a second. There's no Franny here. Just kidding. But yeah, that was fun. Highlight was definitely that Gore Chosen game because my opponent was super fun and vibey, and it felt really cool to play Nighthaunt into Gore Chosen. It felt really, really good. Low point was getting eaten alive by dinosaurs. Yeah.
But being eaten alive by dinosaurs was also kind of a win for you because realistically, you love the dinosaurs. So you spiritually won as you got your shit kicked in.
Yeah, we could say that. I felt so confident going into it, because a lot of armies, I'm like, I don't know what the hell anything does. I knew what all the Seraphon stuff did, and then it started happening, and I realized how fucked I actually was. I'm like, oh god, no. Yeah, great time. That was my second time at Clash. Absolute blast. The tournament is always awesome, but like it's always great hanging out with you guys too, like on the off hours as well. I think I enjoy that just about as much as actually playing. So yeah, great time. It was nice.
One of the most enjoyable 7-hour drives of your life.
Yeah, it was great. How many pit stops did you guys make coming up?
I don't know. We didn't count.
Coming,
I can't count over 3 anyways.
yeah, no. On the way up, I'm not sure, but on the way back, we definitely stopped at some random French place for biryani. That was totally worth it.
Amazing.
It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I guess we should also talk about Matt G and Vince. Matt G, representing Car 1, went 2 and 3. He brought Hellsmiths. I don't really know much about his games. He won against OBR and Zinch, lost to Lumineth. He played Mark.
Yeah, he played
Polinsky.
Polinsky round 2.
Who did very, very well. And then he lost to Sylvaneth and then Josh with Baleful. And as I mentioned before, Baleful is a hard counter to Hellsmiths at the moment. And then Nurgle, Vince. What?
You just have to tank it.
Yeah,
Easy peasy.
he can't take it. He thought he could take it, but he can't take it. Vince went 4-1 with Nurgle. Vince is a savant. He didn't play for like 6 months and then just randomly shows up and goes 4-1 at Clash. His only loss was the Stormcast.
The guy who got second?
Yeah,
I believe second.
He got third.
Ollie
got third.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, that's who he played against too. So.
Yeah, first game he was just like, oh man. And then just crushes every other game.
Yeah.
Yeah. The true submarine there.
Yeah. But yeah, Vince did great. We had, I think, some expected killers coming out on the top there. We had Justin Lapointe take first with Sylvaneth. Mark Polinsky took second with Lumineth. And then Ollie Morin took third with Stormcast. And yeah, Steven and Vince only lost to people on the podium, which is pretty great.
And we got them like early on too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Game 1, game 2, which takes us to the standings of our
The end of the podcast. The end of the podcast. What a great time, everyone. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, no consequences. Absolutely none.
Yeah. So Car 2 won.
Allegedly.
But you're looking at it.
Mathematically, Car 2
Anyone
won.
can pull out a spreadsheet. That says nothing.
Yeah.
So, Matt, do you want to talk about what the consequences are for your car?
I don't believe in consequences. I like to call them rewards for decisions. So the bet was that the winning car would dictate to the other car what the losing car's lists would have to be at the next tournament. So for Kyle and I believe it's pretty much binding. Matt G, strictly speaking, he could ignore it if he so chooses, because he's strictly speaking not on Team ETB, but I think I'm hoping he'd be a good sport about it. But yeah, the winning car would dictate to the losing car what lists they would bring to the next 1-day, 3-game tournament. And I prefer to keep the rules as nebulous as that, so the winning car can exercise whatever creative discretion they want and how they want to interpret that.
If we give you a bad list and we do this again, are you gonna give me a bad list? We have
to reissue the challenge every time.
Okay. Yeah, so like if we reissue it,
it doesn't carry over. When we get dictated the list, that isn't a new competition. Because then you just be like, yeah, here's your shit list, you're gonna lose, and then I'm gonna pick your list for the next one. No, it doesn't roll over. These bets are only for like fresh tournaments.
Okay. That makes sense to me.
That'd be crazy.
Counterpoint, if you are given a list and then you score high with it, there should be a consequence for the person who inflicted the list.
Ooh, that's
hold on.
spicy.
We're trying to do cool lists, not just shit lists.
Yeah,
right?
That's true. Yeah.
They are not mutually exclusive.
No. So we basically talked about these lists for the first like 4 hours of our drive before we all went mute and we're like just trying to carry on. So we thought about just giving some real shit lists. Steven was really hot on 200 clan rats for somebody.
That's no. I
Howard
really want
Stevens
to.
said that.
Yeah.
But then we
I don't want to
realized
run
like
that.
it should be at least a fun, decent list, like fun list. That way you're not just wasting your whole day pushing around 200 fucking clan rats.
I'd have fun watching.
You also have to provide them.
I have 200 clan rats.
Like, you have
Yeah.
200 clan rats?
Oh yeah, he does.
I've never used
Yeah,
clan
that's
rats.
the other nuance is you can't be like, oh, go buy friggin' 4 maw crushers to play.
No.
Someone has to be able to provide the
yeah.
models.
Exactly.
But I wouldn't want to put someone through that.
Don't worry, Matt. I got you.
Oh, thank God.
So we're ideating, we're pondering. I've never seen Kyle take his sons to a tournament. I think that would be kind of cool. Maybe. Do you have the list for? Do you have the models for a sons list?
Yeah, I've got Kragnos and 3 Gargants that can be whichever Gargants I want.
That could be
Okay,
kind of cool.
and then you have to take this Skaven formation with the regiment. Boom.
What the shooting one?
Yeah, sure, the shoe one. Any Skaven one.
Sure.
Sure.
That was legit good. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good
it's
list.
legit. Yeah, I got
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very-
Fun. We're looking at fun lists.
What would be even better would be the big pigs. Can the big pigs go with it?
That's too good.
Yeah, it's not
No, it's too
Skaven.
good. Okay.
Yeah. But this is all.
All baby Gargants.
Ooh. How many babies do you have?
If we have the models for that, 100% do that.
I have 0 baby Gargants.
Okay. All right.
Sure, prove it.
What? How do I prove a
Prove it.
negative?
I don't believe you. I think you just don't want to run them.
But yeah,
Time will tell.
we have
All
a
right,
lot of
so
time.
we've lost. We'll get lists dictated to us.
Yep.
We're here for it.
Is
Yeah.
there?
They'll be pretty good lists. Me and Franny were making the list, and I'm like, man, I want to run this list.
Yeah, there was a couple times we had to pivot. We're like, okay, you know what? Scrap it. We're actually gonna make this list work. Start it over. But yeah, TLDR Clash was a great time. Car 1, aka losing car, is gonna have lists dictated. Is there anything else you guys want to chat about before we wrap this bad boy up?
No, great drive, great venue, great Saint Hubert's, cool enough people minus Steven.
Thank you.
And yeah, I think we all had a good time.
All right.
So good that we might go back to Trois Rivières in August. Apparently.
Oh yeah, I can go to that. If you guys can go, I'm down
Yes,
for the
very
teams.
good.
Yeah.
I would like to make a team for that.
Yeah.
I will put a hard maybe.
Okay. Yes. Put your request out to the
All right,
boss.
Franny, close us off.
Okay, thanks everybody. Bye.